Welcome to Did You Know number 27. Got a couple of facts for you here. Turn to the book of 2 Kings, chapter 2. 2 Kings, chapter 2, verse 23. 2 Kings 2:23, and he, that's Elisha, went up from thence unto Bethel. And as he was going up by the way, there came forth little children out of the city, and mocked him, and said unto him, Go up, thou bald head, go up, thou bald head. And he turned back, and looked on them, and cursed them in the name of the Lord. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood, and tare 42 children of them. So, moral of the story, don't ever make fun of a bald-headed guy.
Moral of the story is, you better respect your elders, because otherwise bears are going to come out and maul you to death. That right there is what every parent needs to instill in their kid. You talk back to me, you read that right there, I'm going to ask the Lord to bring a bear in this house and eat you. You talking about now? I don't think any kids will be rolling their eyes and going, whatever.
Actually, if you want to know why it's really here, is because under the 5 cycles of chastisement, God said that something like this would happen. It really shows Israel in their wickedness and God punishing them for their unbelief is really what it is. But yeah, that's a fun passage to read. Then the second one I've got, 2 Kings chapter 4. 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 38. And Elisha came again to Gilgal, and there was a dearth in the land, and the sons of the prophets were sitting before him. And he said unto his servant, Set on the great pot, and seethe pottage for the sons of the prophets. And one went out into the field to gather herbs, and found a wild vine, and gathered thereof wild gourds, his lap full, and came and shred them into the pot of pottage, for they knew them not. So they poured out for the men to eat, and it came to pass as they were eating of the pottage that they cried out and said, O thou man of God, there is death in the pot. And they could not eat thereof. But he said, Then bring meal. And he cast it into the pot, and he said, Pour out for the people that they may eat. And there was no harm in the pot. How many people knew that there is a scripture in the Bible where a poisonous vine, through a miracle of God, was made to where it didn't harm anybody? Poisonous vine cured. That's in the Bible, 2 Kings 4, 38 through 41. All right, now Lana's got a couple of Did You Knows.
Did you know we're in Joshua? Joshua chapter 9. Joshua chapter 9. Verse 5.
Joshua 9:5. And old shoes and clouded upon their feet, and old garments upon them, and all the bread of their provision was dry and moldy.
I wrote, they had mold on their food back in the day. I remember growing up, there'd be, if you had a little mold on your bread, just a little bit, you picked off the mold, but you still ate the bread and you were fine. Oh, Lord forbid if somebody did that today, they'd be, you're gonna die. I mean, like, you're crazy. It's just a little piece of mold. Come on, people. I think you'll survive. I dropped my piece of paper. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Now, we're in Judges. Yeah, just that quick. We went to Judges. We are moving along, people. Moving along. Judges chapter 1, verses 6 and 7.
But Adonai-Bezek fled, and they pursued after him and caught him, and cut off his thumbs and his great toes. And Adonai-Bezek said, 70 kings, having their thumbs and their great toes cut off, gathered their meat under my table, as I have done, so God hath requited me. and they brought him to Jerusalem, and there he died.
I wrote down the thumbs, and they cut off their thumbs and their great toes. Was that so they couldn't hold a sword or run?
Sounds good to me.
You said you thought...
I thought it's to humiliate them. If you're a king, not only do you lose your power, but now you can't even do basic functions. You can't hold a pen, you can't hold a sword, you can't just do basic things. So I think it's just to humiliate the kings.
All right.
All right, so now our question and answer. Our question last time, I hope a lot of people got it right. Who went to heaven by a whirlwind? The answer is found in 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 11. 2 Kings 2:11. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. So the answer is, Elijah is the one who went to heaven by a whirlwind. That's 2 Kings 2, verse 11. And now our question for this time is also found in 2 Kings. I need the chapter and verse in 2 Kings, and tell me, who caused an axe head to float in the water? Who caused an axe head, the head of an axe, to float in the water? All right, thanks for watching Did You Know 27. We'll see you next time.